So, I also want to say if anybody has any questions after our brief presentation, you can come on and you can either ask a Q&A there, or we may be able to bring you on as panelists and you can ask any question that you have. And I'm going to get into what this is about, conceptually, in application, what we offer, some insights into, our approach and how to officially come on board, right? This is something that I've done with one-on-ones with people in regards to their interest in this program. I've also debuted it at one of our chapter launches, actually our last chapter launch in Washington, D.C. I also put that video up on the YouTube channel. However, the portion on the naturopathic health education aspect was short because I really expounded more on our Jubilee Manumission program, which is our debt elimination credit repair program we offer as well, right? But today we're only going to be talking about health, right? And what we're trying to do to benefit the community with these services, okay? All right, so we can go ahead and get started now. Let me see. I just want to check to make sure I got everything in place. Okay, so I guess whoever jumps in, they'll jump in whenever they can, but let's go ahead and get started. So this is gonna commence for about an hour and a half. You can drop off anytime, come back in if you need to. We're also gonna record this session only for attendees. It's not gonna be public. So if you've attended and you have to leave early or whatever the case may be, you get kicked off or something happens, you can definitely email us at naturopathtoeden@gmail.com. You see the email addresses at the bottom. And that way you can say, hey, look, I was on, I'm so-and-so, can I get the recording? And we'll be sure to make sure you guys have the session because we're recording the session, okay? All right, and at any given time, if you have any questions after the session is over, we have a contact number there at the bottom, 678-430-3832. Okay, you can call that number anytime from 9 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Monday to Friday, and you will reach our answering service. We have a customer care team there that would be able to greet you when you call and take any information you have in regards to what your inquiry may be. And we'll be sure that we get on top of it promptly to make sure that you have everything you need if you're interested in wanting to join our affiliate and consultant program, or if you need our services, okay? All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I want to say welcome to everybody who has joined in. You are now looking at our Naturopath To Eden program. This is one of the flyers that we use to hand out when we went and did our chapter launches, right? So Kingdom Harbinger Ministries is the parent organization, and a subsidiary of that is this Naturopath To Eden program. So just give you conceptually what this is, when it started and why, and then from there, what we offer, and then from there, some insight to the approach we take. And then from there, if you have any questions or concerns while we're on this session, you can feel free to ask it. There's a Q&A section where I'll be able to open it up so you can ask your questions, raise your hand, ask your questions, or if you want to join in the panel to ask your question, we'll see if we can allow that as well, okay? So Kingdom Harbinger Ministries was founded in 2014 as the parent organization, and is an Israelite-based ministry organization. The goal of it is cultural community autonomy, which is our slogan or our tagline. And pretty much what that is that our main objective is to reconstruct and restore our culture. So that way we could become a more close-knit community. And then from there, we can work towards autonomy or self-governance. And Naturopath To Eden is one of those things birthed out of autonomy. And I'll get into that in a second. And a kingdom harbinger, right? So kingdom referring to the Most High Yah's kingdom. And a harbinger is one that goes before a king or an army to announce their arrival and make preparations for them to be received by the people, right? Where that king or army is going to lodge at, okay, or going to visit, all right? So we're trying to prepare our community, our people, by means of being set apart through autonomy, where we can rely on each other for any services that we may need, any manufacturing goods, organizational assistance, societal assistance, political assistance, economic assistance, businesses. We should have a plethora and a wealth and variety of various things in our own community that we can provide to the community at first and to society at large, so we can galvanize the resources we get from society and funnel it back into our community. And this is why the Black community is at such a disadvantage, because we don't really have a lot of these opportunities that teaches this autonomy type of approach in regards to our community and culture. And we do want to restore that. All right. So conceptually, the purpose behind Naturopath To Eden is I've been delving into health for some time. I could say maybe about 10 years. I've been getting into the health paradigm. I personally suffered from eczema, which is a form of atopic dermatitis. And also I suffered from allergies, severe allergies, eczema, and asthma. And I did a lecture on atopic dermatitis. So if anybody's interested in that, you can just type in DivineProspect atopic dermatitis or DivineProspect and eczema, and you'll see I actually talked about atopic dermatitis with a focus on eczema, right? So I suffered from these things for some time, from childhood all the way into my adulthood. And I would visit the doctor and specialist, my primary care physician and specialist, from time to time to help me to manage the symptoms of what it was that I was experiencing. It was interfering at times with my quality of life, which I was not happy about. I don't think anybody's happy about that. However, it wasn't so severe where it incapacitated me, where I couldn't function day to day. I could, and I did, but at times whenever I had a flare up, whether it was asthmatic, whether it was allergies or eczema, it was very unsightly and it was very, very hindering, So after going to these doctors and physicians for some time, I saw that all they were doing was managing the symptoms. They were not getting to the root cause of these ailments that I was experiencing. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I knew it would be risky and I knew that it would take a lot of trial and error. But I said to myself that if I was ever able to figure out how to fix these issues, I would be more than happy to find a way to offer those solutions to the public at large, right? So this was, again, 10 years ago. So this is before, I started this Israelite paradigm, ideology, etc. Now, the program itself didn't form at that time, but in 2012, I was able to take matters into my own hands, and pretty much my asthma dissipated, my severe allergies dissipated, my eczema was under more control. However, there would still be flare-ups here and there. And I will say from 2012 to now, to my 8 years, I've been asthma-free. And I've been, my allergies, I really have any issues with allergies like I used to have, right? So once in a blue, there may be a flare up, but it wasn't as bad as it was before. And when you understand these diseases, you see that asthma, allergies, and eczema are intricately related, right? And if you go back and check out my lecture on that, you'll be able to see why that's the case, right? So after that, I was like, wow, years passing and I'm doing well. My eczema is under control. I would only have flare-ups once in a while. But for the most part, I was able to kind of find a way to get to the root cause. So I did a lot of research, independent research, and I knew just my own independent research and my own trial and error would not be enough to confirm that my health has improved. So I continued to go to my doctor, my physician, and they actually said, look, we don't really see any symptoms of asthma or your allergies and your eczema. It looks like you're doing pretty well. And the doctor kind of asked me, jokingly, like, what you do? I said, look, the medicine you gave me, I used it until I ran out. And then from there, I did not ask for an additional prescription. And I decided to take matters in my own hands and to be proactive in regards to my health. And I exercise best practices when it comes to health. And it paid off. So the doctor commended me for that. He was really happy about that, kind of asked me, well, so what did you do? And I gave him a little bit of insight. And he said, yeah, you're healthy, you're fine, everything is okay. So once that worked out, I said, okay, well, let me see if I can contact some people in that field, right, who are medical doctors, registered nurses, dietitians, nutritionists, people who practice alternate medicine, et cetera, and kind of get some insight from them to ensure that I'm on the right path before I present this to the community at large. So in 2014, after I formulated my Israelite organization, I decided that, hey, you know what? I was doing health for some time. Let me see if I can now offer it publicly. And if so, conceptually, what would be the framework behind it? And I wanted everything that I did to tie back to the cultural paradigm I subscribe to. So that way we can have a better presentation in the eyes of society in regards to the professionalism behind the solutions that we can afford for societal ills. So I thought about it and I said, okay, well, I want it to be something that's catchy, and I want it to be something that people in the know can be like, oh, okay, I know where that originates from. So I looked into the culture and I said, okay, what kind of concepts are there that can be turned into an actual service for the community? And then I realized that in the Garden of Adam and Eve, according to the cultural literature, right, Adam and Eve was made good, right? They had bodies that did not decay, did not break down. They were designed to live for X amount of time. And they were giving the herbs and the fruit and the vegetables and the root vegetables of the earth in order to sustain them, to keep their body in the condition that it was, right? They were even told that here is the tree of life where you can eat from its fruits, right? And these are all concepts that convey the idea of health, okay? So upon looking into this, I said, wow, you know what? That's interesting that we see that. And this kind of environment in which they're in was ideal, right, for their health and wellness. And it was called Eden, right? The Garden of Eden, right? So I said, okay, cool. That idea of Eden is great, because if people think about Eden, you think about bliss, and you're thinking about, an opportunity where, you'll be able to be given everything that you need naturally to keep yourself, your body, your mind, and your soul in optimal condition, right? So I said, okay, what can I add to it? I can't just name an Eden. What can I add to that? So I was thinking about the various terms in regards to alternative medicine and health and wellness. And then the idea of naturopathic came to mind. And I said, oh, okay, natural path to Eden, right? It's very catchy, right? Because we know what naturopath means, right? We know what Eden means, but when you put it together, natural path to Eden, it became very catchy. I said, okay, so I created this generic logo that you see at the top that's been working fine for me since. We're going to undergo a redesign of all our organizational logos soon. But currently, this is what we're working with. And I said, okay, cool. So let me be able to, from a blueprint perspective, create a program, right, where we can service the community and try to do so at little to no cost. Okay. Which could be kind of difficult when you put all the effort to doing this, little to no cost, but it's like, yeah. So what I decided was that, with what we're doing in Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, the resources that we're able to pull in from the donations we get, from the merchandise we sell, from the other services that we offer, our Patreon that we have, our YouTube super chat donations, our miscellaneous donations, all the things that we do, to use those resources to offer a free assessment and consultation service to the public. And I said, as long as the community continues to invest into Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, that we will provide this service for free indefinitely, right? However, I wanted to also allow this service to be an incentive to employ people, because there's a lot of people in our community that's into health. And I wanted to incentivize them associating with the program so that they can find a means of getting supplemental income or even full-time income, depending on how they want to work with it. So once I thought about that, I said, okay, so we have to add some paid services, a la carte, on top of the free services that we offer, so that the way the people who want to yield a profit from doing this service, they'll be able to do so. So therefore, we created these a la carte regiment plans. They're monthly regiment plans. You can either do our yearly subscription to them, or you can do month to month, right? And the purpose of these things is that after we do an assessment to say, okay, we can help you, and then we do a consultation and we tell you what you can do to help yourself, then a lot of times we would get inquiries from people that say, hey, you know what, my schedule is busy, I don't have a lot of time. Can you help me with this? So we said, okay, sure. If you want us to step in, there will be an added cost, right? So that it can take care of, the time, energy, and effort we put in to customize these regiment plans, these monthly or annual regiment plans, to ensure that you are able to, get past the critical stage of your health and then get into a maintenance phase. Okay. So these are some things that came to mind when I was thinking about this, and I said, okay, we can provide that. So we do offer monthly regiment plans for people who have various ailments. So, out of the almost 50 something people we've helped, we have a 80% success rate, right? It's not 100%, because there's a lot of different variables, and everything depends on the commitment of the people we assist and so forth. But we got a 75 to 80% success rate, and we want to continue to maintain that and increase that. But I realized that can't be done with just me and a few people. Like, we need a large team, with people with different variety of backgrounds, that we all can think tank this thing together and find various ways of implementation to yield the intended results, right? So I decided, okay, so what I'm going to do is, people who are interested, speak to them about the paid affiliate program, our consultant work, which is paid as well, and tell them how they can be an affiliate, tell them how they can be a consultant. Or if somebody just wants the services, we can provide the free assessment and consultation. And then from there, if they want to pay into our regiment programs, they can. So what we say off the bat, we never discourage anybody from continuously taking the allopathic route. We never tell anybody to lay off the medication or remove them. Like, that is solely up to them and their healthcare provider. And on top of that, we never tell nobody, from there, that we're doing this as a means of being your alternate physician, right? We're just simply here to provide information, education, and application, ideal application of the information, that the person then applies themselves at their own risk in order for them to improve their health. Because I always tell people, no matter what you go to the doctor for, that's 50% of the battle. The other 50% is, what are you doing proactively so you do not have to keep going to the doctor? You should only go to the doctor if you're getting a checkup. That's it, right? If you go other than that, maybe some trauma-related ailments, you can't stop. If you get shot, stabbed, car crash, something like that, you have to go to the hospital, right? And you may need some care afterwards. But if things that can be prevented, acute illnesses and chronic illnesses are things that can be prevented, and you have to take your own initiative and say, okay, I'm going to work on my health and I'm going to get this thing taken care of, right? So that's a little bit of the concept behind what we do. What we offer is, we offer these services where we provide assessment and consultation services for free to the public. And then we also offer these paid regiment plans that can be done a la carte monthly or month to month, or it can be done annually. Okay. We also offer an affiliate program. So the affiliate program works is that people may say, look, I just want to make passive income off of this. I don't have a lot of time to do consultant work. So how can I, be a help to spreading the word of the service and so forth? So what we tell the person is, we provide you a unique code, right, whereby you use any of the advertisement material that we supply to spread the word, right? And when you spread the word, anybody that receives the material you get, whether it's word of mouth or whether it's email, whether it's text or whether it's physical flyers, will have your unique identifying code. And when that person calls in, you are, you bring them in, your code is attached to that client, right? And then when that client is persuaded to go the Regiment route, which we try to persuade people. We don't force anybody, tell them they have to, but we tell them, look, we also offer this. You get 25% commission just by sharing the word and for somebody following through. We also provide a $10 sign-up bonus. So there is no liability to anybody wanting to be part of our affiliate program. I don't know too many affiliate programs that pay you up front a sign-up bonus to start working and then give you 25% commission off the rip. All right. But that's something that we wanted to do. Okay. And now if you want to take it to the next step and say, look, I have some time, I could do consultant work part-time, or look, I want to do this full-time because I love health, right? You can join our consultant program. We give you a $20 sign-up bonus. And then also from there, we provide for you 50% commission because you will be doing the assessments, you'll be doing the consultations, and then if they want the paid regimens, we'll create it, we'll provide it to you, and you'll follow through with that person month to month or annually, right? And every month that they pay into it, you get your commission from it, right? So it's a reoccurring commission that you can get from that, right? So let's say that, depending upon, and these regiments vary, right? Depending upon, if the person wants just a maintenance plan, if they want like a critical health plan, or if they have multiple issues, like it takes a lot of work to kind of assess whatever information they provide us. And we don't ask for any sensitive medical records, right? Because there's HIPAA laws that protect patients and their medical records. However, we say to the person, whatever you feel comfortable sharing with us, right? Here's the NDA that they can sign. So that way they know that it's in confidence. And with that information that we get, we create or customize a plan that we then give to the consultant, that the consultant then works with them. And the consultant does a twice a month check-in. However, at any given time, that client can email either them or email the organization if they have any small inquiries in between. But there's 2 check-ins, right? The halfway point and at the end of the month. So halfway through the month and at the end of the month, we do 2 check-ins to make sure that there's progress. If there's no progress, then we'll go back and readjust the regiment plan for the following month, and then we'll go from there, right? That's typically how it works, okay? So again, the affiliates, they get a unique identifying code that they supply with the marketing material, and they spread the word. They get a $10 sign-up bonus just from coming on board, and then they get a 25% commission. So if it's $200, you make $50 passively, right? If a person signs up for a $200 regiment plan a month. So you make that monthly. So it's not just a one-time thing, it's monthly. So that person signs on monthly or annually, every month you make that 25% commission. If you're a consultant, you get a $20 sign-on bonus. You're actually actively doing the assessment, the consultations. However, we do the regimens behind the scenes based on what you gather and provide for us. We give you that regimen information. You set up or schedule your 2 twice a month check-ins, right? And then from there, you get your 50% commission every month, right? So again, if we're looking at $200 and you're saying 50%, you're making $100 a month from that $200. And that's just with one person with a $200 regiment plan. Our regiment plans range from $100 all the way up to $500. So you're talking about you can make passive or active income. The more people you share this information with as an affiliate, and the more people that you share information and consult with as a consultant, you can make a good amount of money. Matter of fact, we have 3 people that do this full-time. Okay. They make full-time money from doing this, as opposed to other little businesses that they have, right? So it's up to you what you want to do with this. Now, if you're interested in our services, then we will give you the assessment, we will give you the consultation, and if you want to get the regiment plans that are customized from you based on the assessment behind our team, who are people who are registered nurses, people who are in the naturopathic field, people who are ex-MDs, you're getting our assessment that we know that can work for you. And then it passed on to you. And then from there, you can do it monthly. So maybe 3 months you're doing better and say, look, I don't need it no more. Or you say, you know what, give me the maintenance plan because I want to be sure I'm maintained throughout the year. So that way my health is optimal, right? Now, the end goal of Naturopathic Eating, because we like to have an end game for everything that we do. The end goal is we want to be able to establish a full-featured HMO, a health management organization, right? Or PPO. We're not sure which one yet. Why? Well, we want to encourage good health, wellness, quality of life, right? We want everybody to be in that Edenic state of mind where their mind is whole, their spirit is whole, and their body is whole, right? So what we realize is that the way that the current medical insurance plans are set up, whether you're getting it a la carte or if you're getting it through your job, they do not provide insurance for the most part. Sometimes they may have complementary insurance, but they do not provide full insurance to people who want to go the naturopathic route, who want alternative medicine and so forth. So anytime you go to a naturopathic doctor or you go to some kind of specialist who delves in alternative medicine, you typically have to pay out of pocket, right? Even situations where you have mothers who are pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Women that are pregnant who are future mothers, and they want care, let's say from, a midwife, or they want doula assistance, or they want that prenatal care. Well, a lot of times if you go to a midwife, especially in Georgia, you got to pay out of pocket. There's not a lot of insurance sometimes that covers that. So we want to create this HMO that will cover that type of insurance. You can have it as complementary insurance. So let's say you go to a allopathic physician, but say, hey, okay, he gave me his recommendations, but you know what? I want to go to a dietitian or nutritionist, or I want to get acupuncture or fitness or whatever the case may be. And you want to ensure that you can actually get insurance that covers that. That's what we want to provide. So we want to continue to provide the health education service, but it will be under the umbrella of our HMO, right? So we do the assessments and we do the consultations with anybody that signs up for the HMO before they're provided insurance, right? So it's not just, okay, you meet all of these qualifications. No. We need to tell you, look, this is the purpose of this insurance. Because one of the incentives that we extend into any, naturopathic specialists or acupuncturists or, fitness, because we have fitness covered under this, or somebody that's a dietitian, is we want them to know that, look, the purpose of this program is for you to bring in as many people as possible and keep as many people out as possible. You say, what? How can I do that? If I do that, no, we give you an annual bonus. Well, it's probably biannually, but a biannual bonus depending upon the amount of clients you keep out of your office, right? Now, that's not to say that you want to ban them forever. No, the objective is the longer period of time that they're out of the office, the longer the incentive or the financial bonus that we provide, because the objective is we want to bring in as many people as possible, but a tool that or a good gauge to know that you're doing a great job is when people stay out the office. You don't have a lot of recurring patients. Now that goes against the business model for allopathic medicine, right? Doctors manage your symptoms so they can have a recurring customer so you can continue to come back, and that's how they get paid, right? However, we're taking a totally different perspective on this, right? Insurance should only be there in the event of. With proper education, training, and assistance, people should only leverage this insurance in the event of, right? So you should not just go to the doctor because you feel like this, you feel like that. It should only be for a checkup, and it should only be for an emergency. That's it. We have the responsibility of taking care of our health so that things can improve, so we can lessen the burden of society. And this is how we pitch it. Lessen the burden of society by being proactive and resolving this personal societal ill, that we have the power and ability to do so. It's 2020. We have access to so much information, so much material, so much alternative paths and routes that we can take, that it's a shame if we don't take advantage of it as a community. Okay. So I just wanted to give some background information so that you guys are aware of what we're about, what's going on. Just give you some insight. So if you're here because you want to join our affiliate program, if you're here because you want to join our consultant program, if you're here because you want our service, right? We thank you for joining in. This is just open for everybody, so you know what we're about. If we're even able to help some people, which we did with 3 individuals that we put on the Regiment plan, their health improved, and they said, look, I want to join up to be a consultant because this thing works and I want to help other people. We want to encourage anybody that takes these services to also join on for our affiliate program and consultant, so you can also help other people and then also make a little bit of money in the process, right, to help you out. Okay. So the approaches that we take or our assessment is, a lot of times we'll get somebody that comes in and they'll say to us, hey, I'm suffering from diabetes, or I'm suffering from hypertension, or I'm suffering from cancer, or I'm suffering from asthma, allergies, eczema. I'm suffering from uh, GI tract issues, whether it's celiac disease or irritable bowel syndrome, you know what I'm saying, or a person that may have gout or anything else. So we have all types of requests that come in and all different levels of severity. Now, we can only help those that we know is within the scope of us being able to assist. And it's a variety of factors that determine that, right? Number one would be age, right? Number two would be I would say the best way to look at the prognosis of recovery, because sometimes people can get to a point of no return and it becomes extremely difficult for this type of process to assist. So we have to assess that. We have to assess the person's diet habits, their supplementation habits, their exercise habits, environmental stresses, okay? Because sometimes people cannot commit because of certain environmental stresses. Also, the severity of the stage. So somebody's in stage 4 cancer. It's kind of difficult for us to really pull off a miracle unless it's Yah's will, right? And we can make those exceptions. However, if a person is in the early stages or mid stages of any kind of acute or chronic illness, and we know that this person has a willingness and commitment and the willpower to actually engage this, commit to this, and be able to, accept our suggestions in alignment with whatever they're being told from a primary care physician, then the information that we provide as far as being an educational service, we know that it won't be in vain. We can supply it to them and that there will be a high rate of recovery, right? So we've helped people with cancer. We've helped people with, kidney failure, liver issues, whether it's cirrhosis of the liver, whether it's end stage renal failure, or people who have cancer, first stage, second stage cancer, people have severe, moderate, and mild eczema, people that have hypertension or they have cardiac issues. So we are able to help a variety of people with various ills. And the approach we take is we realize that the source of most, not all, but the source of most chronic diseases is due to malnutrition and malnourishment. Okay, malnutrition and malnourishment. Okay, now this is extremely important because if you are not aware that you are deficient in regards to nutrients, whether they're macro or micronutrients, or if you're deficient in regards to the amount of nourishment that you need day to day, right? The body needs X amount of calories and it varies based on your size, your height, your weight, etc. Okay, other pre-existing conditions, etc. Right? So you need X amount of calories, right? And pretty much a calorie is any unit that heat is applied to that can then be transformed into energy that the body can utilize. All right. And there's a lot of factors in regards to that, the type of foods that you eat. If you're eating something natural, let's say you go to the store and you're buying fruits and vegetables, you're going to eat it without being processed. Or if your diet consists of processed foods, we teach people how to read labels when they go into the store. We teach you, if you are deficient in certain, let's say a vitamin, we tell you, okay, look, let's say, for example, you have muscle spasms, rickets, osteoporosis, something like that. For the most part, you could be deficient in calcium, right? One of the daily value percentage, your 100% percentage, should be 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams in regards to calcium you should be getting every day. However, calcium alone is not enough to deposit the calcium where it needs to go, right? There's other transporter elements that need to take place in conjunction with eating or taking in calcium-rich sources in order for you to have high absorbability and high retention of calcium, right, in the body, because the body has places where it can deposit calcium, okay? But there's other things. We teach people what are water-soluble vitamins as opposed to fat-soluble vitamins, right? And why these things are important, okay? We know that your water-soluble vitamins or vitamins, typically the body does not store, right? And that is broken down with liquids or water. And this is typically your B and C vitamins, okay? You need these things daily, right, in your diet because the body does not store it. Or if it does store it, it's in trace amounts, right? Your fat-soluble vitamins is your vitamin A, your vitamin D, your vitamin K, et cetera, vitamin E. These are things that the body does store, okay? But we need to see if you're getting enough of these things. And a lot of times you come into the doctor with symptoms. It may not even just be a disease. It may just be a result of malnutrition and malnourishment. Okay. So what we do is when we do our official training, you know, with our consultants, we go over what these guidelines are, right? What these vitamins and minerals are, what are natural sources for it, what other vitamins and minerals to take in conjunction with it, what food sources that you can get these things from in potent amounts or trace amounts, because some minerals, they fall into 4 categories: major minerals, trace minerals, and ultra trace minerals, right? And then vitamins in regards to water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. And then there's other items outside of that, other supplements that can assist with the recovery and restoration phases of your health and wellness, okay? So we go over all of this, right? Whenever there's some kind of disorder, let's say eczema, we'll say, okay, look, a person should have at the very base biotin at 300 milligrams, magnesium at 200 to 500 milligrams, vitamin B complex from a supplement from 50 to 100 milligrams, your vitamin B3 at 100 milligrams, vitamin B6 at 2 milligrams, your vitamin B12 at 200 mcgs, your zinc at 50 mgs. And there's a reason why you need these things at this concentration and at this amount for those type of ailments, because a lot of the precursors to these ailments, such as eczema, is a lack of these particular vitamins and minerals. So we don't only provide the base of the vitamin and mineral, we also provide food sources that are rich in these items, which is the best way to get it is unprocessed foods. A lot of times we live in an environment where it's difficult to get unprocessed foods. Sometimes the next best thing is to get a food with the label on it that's USDA, non-GMO, organic approved. That would be the second best source, even though some of those also are processed. And when things go through a process, they lose a lot of the nutrient value, okay? And it depends on what type of process. If it's a heating process, a water-based process, if it's a preservation process, depending upon the process also, can deplete that food item of necessary vitamins and minerals. And your absorbability factor is also key. Your enzyme factor is also key, because a lot of times people's bodies, if they have GI tract issues, may not produce a sufficient enough of enzymes to break these things down to micronutrients for absorbability through the GI tract. And those can cause issues. Again, we go into those things and we teach our consultants about health. We provide several course books on health, but we also provide a cheat sheet. All right. So if you go back and check out the video that I did when we was in DMV, I provided 2 cheat sheets, right, that you can get for $7 off of Amazon, okay? One goes over nutrition and gives you the overall view of nutrition, talking about superfoods, supplements, etc. And the other one goes through vitamins and minerals. And these 2 cheat sheets are some of the base guides that we use for our training, through our education. And then there's books as well, course books that I recommend. Now, everybody may not read those course books. I recommend, if you're a consultant, take your time, go through them. It's about 4 different ones that I recommend that are great. You can read 1 or 2 and, you know, get everything you need. These are PhDs wrote these books. They're used in universities and schools where medicine is being practiced, nutritionists go and they source to them. So we provide you that material. We provide you these cheat sheet guides, and then we provide you coaching. So when you do your assessments and you do your consultation work, you could be as efficient as possible with the limited amount of time that you have. Okay. So we typically, you know, do these consultations anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. All right, the most, which includes us hearing what the issue is. We'll get that through the assessment. Through the consultation is, okay, what is a proactive approach a person can take? And then in that session, we also get a Q&A from whoever that person is until they're comfortable enough with the information, and or they push for the paid services in the way of the regimen that we offer in order to assist the person get on the road to health and wellness, okay? So that's just a couple of things. I just wanted to lay it out. You know, those of you who are interested in our consultant programs, I will do further training with you guys. Those of you who are interested in our affiliate programs, we'll set you guys up through the onboarding process if you're still interested, with a unique identifying code and some marketing material that you can use to get the word out. And then you sign up with us. You know, we have a small contract. You sign up with us, we get your contact information and so forth, so we can track it. So when these calls or requests come in after you've shared the material, given the word, and also giving your affiliate code, that can track the client as consultants work with them, and you get a percentage of that. Okay. Okay. Now, also those doing consultant, you will get continual training. So that way you are very sharp and adept at your consultant work. So you can be very efficient. So within 30 minutes, right after you get the assessment, you say, okay, I already know what this is, kind of assess it. Through the consultation, you're interfacing with the person, providing education, information, as well as their feedback. And then from there, you could already know what direction that the regiment should go and the steps to take in regards to get that person back on general health and wellness. Okay. And then again, as when we do these training programs, some of y'all may not even have any formal training, right? I've had mentors who are nutritionists that actually shared information with me, and then I've done my own independent research. So the amalgamation of that has allowed me to be very efficient when it comes to doing my assessment and consultations. Everybody may not be that sharp, but they have a desire that they want to be part of this program. So we want to be able to provide that training for you if you have zero experience. If some people on here that have backgrounds in medicine, right, have backgrounds in alternative medicine, have backgrounds in far as nutrition and diet, being a dietitian or things along those lines, or people who just have practiced good health for a long period of time, you have an advantage, right? All we're going to do is make sure that you have all the tools at play so we can have one concerted, universal approach that no matter who a person goes to as a consultant in this organization, they will get the same quality, right? That person will have the same knowledge, they will get the same quality, and they will follow the laws and bylaws of the processes we have in place in order to deliver the best fulfillment and satisfaction we can to that end user of whoever we're trying to educate, okay? So that's a little bit of what we do. Again, we go over things such as what is a superfood and, what is energy, right? How does the body use energy? We can get very technical. We can be very service level, depending upon the interest of the consultants. But we just want this to be something that when a community gets it, it becomes something that's standard fare, and we can actually initiate and enact the change that we're actually looking for. We can be that change. Okay. So what I want to do real quick is I want to show you just something briefly from one of these sources. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on the screen. I'm gonna pull something up from one of these sources so you can see some of the material, some of the books that we utilize in regards to these trainings that we do. And you can kind of see how in-depth it is and how beneficial it is. Even if you're somebody who, when you take the consultation, the free consultation, you just want information and do it yourself, we can provide some of these resources that you can do on your own. However, when you sign up for our paid services, you actually get a team that's helping you, right? You're not just doing it by yourself. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up one of these books so you guys can see what we're working with. All right. And I have two favorites, but I have like 5 books that are great, but I have 2 favorites, right? So one of my favorites, I'm gonna bring up on the screen real quick. And in this one, I'm going to share with you guys. I want to, let me see, give me a second. Let me grab the page that I want to get. The page, let's see. All right, it is here. All right, it's page 42. All right, so let me bring it on the screen so that you guys can see. All right. So the name of this book is called The Science of Nutrition, 4th edition by Thompson, Manora, and Vaughn. And if we scroll down, this is something that's actually used as a course book. All right, Janice L. Thompson, PhD, is from University of Birmingham and University of New Mexico. Melinda M. Manor, PhD, RD, CSSD, FACSM, Oregon State University, and Linda A. Vaughn, PhD, RD, right? So you can know that this is not something that's scoured off of the internet. This is something they actually recommend as coursework. And as you can see, you can scroll through, they give you details about actual coursework, right? Master Nutrition, My Diet Analysis, before class, during class. This is actually coursework material. This is the type of books that I read and that I recommend to people who want to get into health. And I don't know if you can see the bottom, but this is 985 pages, okay? And this is just one of the 5 books that I've read in regards to nutrition, and that we use, we leverage this data in doing our assessments and our consultations. And then there's also the cheat guides. The cheat guides pretty much summarizes everything's in these books. So it's easily consumable, right? You can consume it real quick. You can pick it up and you can move with it. It inspires you to go look into it in more depth, okay? So one of the pages that I want to get into, just to show you guys a little bit of the things that we leverage information, is this one right here. What is a healthy diet? Okay. So I'm gonna read these things real quick for you guys so you can see. And again, this is some of the stuff that we do in our consultations and our trainings and stuff like that. This is stuff that's standard fare from people who are nutritionists and who are dietitians or whatever. But it says a healthy diet provides the proper combination of energy and nutrients, right? So energy, that's what we talk about malnourishment, and nutrients, we talk about malnutrition, okay? It has 4 characteristics. It is adequate, moderate, balanced, and varied. No matter if you are young or old, overweight or underweight, healthy or coping with illness, if you keep in mind these characteristics of a healthy diet, you will be able to consciously select foods that provide you with the appropriate combination of nutrients and energy each day, okay? A healthy diet is adequate, okay? An adequate diet provides the energy, nutrients, and fiber to maintain a person's health. A diet may be inadequate in only one area. For example, as noted, many people in the United States do not eat enough vegetables and therefore are not consuming enough of the fiber and micronutrients found in vegetables. However, their intake of other types of foods may be adequate or even excessive. In fact, some people who eat too few vegetables are overweight or obese, which means that they are eating a diet that exceeds their energy needs. As you can see over here, it's on the left, it summarizes it. A healthy diet is a diet that provides the proper combination of energy and nutrients and is adequate, moderate, balanced, and varied. And the adequate diet is a diet that provides enough of the energy, nutrients, and fiber to maintain a person's health, okay? So we scroll down here to a healthy diet is moderate. Moderation is one of the keys to a healthy diet. Moderation refers to any foods and eating any foods in moderate amounts, not too much and not too little. If a person eats too much or too little of certain foods, health goals cannot be reached. For example, some people drink as much as 60 fluid ounces, 3 20-ounce bottles of soft drinks on some days. Drinking this much contributes an extra 765 kilocalories of energy to a person's diet. In order to allow for these extra kilocalories and avoid weight gain, an individual would need to reduce food intake, which could lead to cutting healthful food choices out of his or her diet, all right? A healthy diet or healthful diet is balanced. A balanced diet contains a combination of foods that provide the proper proportions of nutrients. As you will learn in this course, the body needs many types of foods in varying amounts to maintain health. For example, fruits and vegetables are excellent sources of fiber, vitamin C, potassium, and magnesium. Meats are not good sources of fiber and these nutrients, but they are excellent sources of protein, iron, zinc, and copper. By eating the proper balance of all healthful foods, including fruits, vegetables, and meats or meat substitutes, we can be confident that we are consuming the balanced nutrition we need to maintain health. And finally, a healthful diet is varied. Variety refers to eating many different foods from the different food groups on a regular basis. With thousands of healthful foods to choose from, trying new foods on a regular basis is fun and easy way to vary your diet. Eat a new vegetable each week or substitute one food for another, such as raw spinach on your turkey sandwich in place of iceberg lettuce. Selecting a wide variety of foods increases the likelihood of consuming the multitude of nutrients that the body needs, okay? So again, if we go down here, it says moderation is eating any foods in moderate amounts, not too much and not too little. A balanced diet, a diet that contains a combination of foods that provide the proper nutrient proportions, and variety is eating a lot of different foods each day. To recap, a healthful diet provides adequate nutrients and energy, and it includes sweets, fats, and salty foods in moderation amounts only. A healthful diet includes an appropriate balance of nutrients in a wide variety of foods, okay? So a lot of times people will ask me, hey, if I just go vegan, will that be fine? That will take care of all my issues. No, veganism is not for everybody. And I say this a lot because everybody thinks veganism and being a vegetarian is the best route to go, and that's not always the case, right? Now, there are people who eat meat, but eat it in moderate amounts because of its rich sources of iron, of copper, of protein, etc. Now, one issue is heme and non-heme iron. Non-heme iron is iron that's based from plants and it's not connected to any kind of, meat or blood or et cetera. But heme iron is the iron that you find in meats. And those are not only readily available, is bioavailability, but it's also highly or easily absorbable, as opposed to non-heme iron, which is very difficult for the body to consume. So there's also foods that have oxalic acid, right? Oxalic acid. If you have this, and this can be built up from eating spinach and a couple other items, it can prevent the absorption of iron. Okay, this is why a variety in regards to your diet is important. And people who are anemic, I never recommend them to go full vegan. You have to take care of your anemia issue first, and then from there you can go vegan. But if you do go vegan, and you say your mind is already made up, there are few items, right, from the botanical range that can provide you a good bioavailability of iron that is highly absorbable, right? But you would have to source this. It's not something that you could just buy from the store. You have to really order these things and keep up with it. So there's ways you can get around it. However, the availability of these items are not, you know, in your regular grocery store, right? So these are just a few things that we look at diet first, and then we look at supplementation. Supplementation are things that's outside of your minerals, outside of your nutrients, right? Minerals and vitamins, and things that's outside of the caloric intake of protein, fat, healthy fats, and carbohydrates that you need that makes up the caloric intake. And these are items that are there to help supplement or assist with organ function, various processes in the body, such as one example of that is probiotics, which helps with the bioabsorbability of foods that are going into the GI tract, right? They have oral probiotics. They have floral probiotics that deal with the gut or your GI tract. There's also vaginal probiotics that's available as well. But that is a supplement. That is not something that you get from your diet per se. Actually, that's not true. You do get probiotics from your diet. Sauerkraut produces it. Yogurt produces it. Other items, kombucha, I don't know if some of y'all heard of that. These are all things that are rich in probiotics that you can take from drinking. But when I say supplement, I'm talking about things outside of the diet that you can get in liquid form, or maybe to get in a veggie capsule form that you take along with whatever your diet is to assist with other ailments that you may have. Okay. And there's several items that we recommend with it. And there's also products from this naturopathic source that we leverage from that's part of the core regimen that assists with that. So we give you the basis of things that you need from your vitamins, your minerals. We tell you what food sources to get them from, which is ideal. If you can't get it from food sources, try to get any packaged items that say organic, you know, and that's verified, is stamped to be organic. You can actually look these things up online as well, the USDA website. And then if you can't get it from that and it's more processed, fortified foods are okay. A lot of times they're synthetically fortified, meaning that if you get cereal and you eat cereal is typically not fortified with high amounts of calcium. However, calcium can be fortified to it. Some cereals may not have omega-3, 6, and 9, like you may say some Cheerios items. They're fortified. Fortified means you're just adding this to the actual food product, okay? So sometimes fortification may help if it's in your foods, that may assist with giving you additional resources that the body may need to overcome an acute or chronic illness, okay? So again, when we do our trainings, I get more into depth, more in detail. You know, you can throw almost any ailment. I'll tell you pretty much what the regimen is for it, why the regimen is important, what it, you know, which metabolic processes in the body does it work in conjunction with items that you need, what possible issues of the body that need to be targeted, etc. Now, the two differences between getting what you need from a diet as opposed to medication is that medication is designed to be targeted, right? It goes through certain pathways in the body to get to a targeted area to do something, whether it's inhibit a bodily process or assist a bodily process, okay? And that's the route for targeted. However, when you're trying to get assistance for health through diet and supplementation, a lot of times through diet, foods are not targeted. The body breaks things down via enzymes, absorbs these things through 4 different methods of absorption, and we go over that with training and so forth, and then delivers it to where it needs to go through the blood, okay? And this can take time, and then sometimes you may not have the exact concentration and dosage amounts of whatever components that are in that food that the body needs. For example, one of those items would be antioxidants, right? Antioxidants are a great source for oxidative damage and other things in regards to the body. When you eat a lot of fruits such as grapes, blackberries, blueberries, they are very rich in antioxidants. And they help with free radical damage that's caused by split oxygen molecules, right? Amongst other things. And free radical damage can also be a precursor for cancer and a lot of other things as well. So when you eat some grapes, typically that antioxidant component is broken down, brought into the body. However, its delivery method is based on the body itself. How, as opposed to medication, it follows a particular pathway. It's synthetic, so that way it can follow a particular pathway to get target exactly where it needs to go to repair, fix, or manage a symptom or remove the symptom. You know, it doesn't really repair the issue, right? Some people think that when you take antibiotics, it fixes the problem. No, it doesn't. Antibiotics is like dropping a nuclear bomb, you know, on an enemy. Let's say that we're military and we're fighting the enemy. You drop a nuclear bomb on all of the hostiles and the civilians. So your body has naturally occurring bacteria that is communal, that works in conjunction with your body in a symbiotic relationship with you, whether it's in your gut, whether it's in your belly button, whether it's under your armpits, whether it's in your mouth, whether it's in your private parts, etc. Your body has a natural flora of bacteria that are beneficial. When you take antibiotics, it not only kills whatever invading bug that you're trying to kill, it also kills the good bacteria. So anytime after you go through a regimen of antibiotics from the doctor, you should also follow up with a regimen of probiotics to restore the good bacteria that was probably killed in the process. Okay. So again, this is just some information in regards to health and to give you an idea along the lines of things that we assess and we throw out based on whatever we're being asked. Like, hey, here's the issue, and then we provide the consultations and we share general, information in regards to health and wellness, and then information targeted to that particular ailment that person is experiencing. Okay. All right. So those of you who are interested in the things that we shared in regards to health, and again, it gets deeper than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna show you another book that we have as well. They would like to share. And then on camera, matter of fact, let me turn the camera on me. Let me see if I can share the camera on me for a second. All right. I see somebody asked a question about diabetes. So if a person has diabetes, there's various things that we could go through. We typically assess to see the functionality of the pancreas, and there's actual tests that you can get done from your doctor to see the pancreas. The pancreas is extremely important when it comes to diabetes, and not just that. We want to know the absorption of any kind of blood sugar. What is the absorption capability of your cells at a micro level, right? Because diabetes mostly can be a variety of different things, and it's a cascade of various issues that come together to form the actual disease. One thing is the pancreas producing enough insulin, which is a hormone to tell your cells on a micro level that there's blood sugar available, pull it in. Or you may have the hardening of those cell walls, those cell membranes, and you may have enough insulin, but the cells are not responding. And a lot of times that could be because you're deficient in choline and inositol and a couple other items, lipids, right? You're not getting enough fats in your diet, essential fats in your diet. You're not getting a lot of choline and inositol, which allow the cell membranes to be more permeable so they can intake or bring in the blood sugar. If the blood sugar stays in the blood for too long and clumps up, it can cut off arteries, capillaries, etc., where now you can, may have to get an amputation of a toe, of a finger, of a limb, or whatever the case may be, right? It also can cause fatigue, and also can cause issues with the pancreas. Does more than just produce insulin. It has other functions as well. And if the pancreas is overworked, then that can cause a cascade of other problems too, right? So there are, different suggestions that we can get with people who have diabetes, and we can give an assessment and consultation and kind of generally give them ideas of what they can do. But if they want to buy into our a la carte monthly plans or our annual plans, we can help. Somebody also asked about mental health. It depends on what the mental health illness is. We probably could assist, but again, we would have to do an assessment to see how severe it is, to see if we can help. Somebody said PTSD. Possibly. It depends on the severity. Like, we've had some people who came back from the military, and they've had a lot of PTSD from the military. So we've put them on regiments to help with calmness, right? Calming their nerves, things that can assist with improving, or suggestions that can improve with, kind of defogging the mind and deconstructing a lot of traumatic things mentally, because there's a science behind retaining traumatic events, right? And there are health paradigms that could be undertaken in order to minimize or reduce the occurrence of those things. and also encourage that person is in a mental state where they're at peace and stuff like that. Somebody says hyperparanoia, possibly, you know, it depends on what the illness is. So we have to assess it on a case-by-case basis. We can't just generally say, yeah, we can help this, we can help that. As a case-by-case basis, it's based on whatever data that is supplied to us from the person that is requiring assistance. They have to let us know, you know, the persistency of these symptoms, when they were diagnosed, what's the prognosis they got from their healthcare physician, what their current diet is, what's their supplementation look like, if they are doing any moderate exercises, you know, are there any severe symptoms that they encounter day to day, their environment in which they live, which they go to work, which they commute, because all that's important, right? There could be triggers in your environment that can cause flare-ups and other things as well. So depending upon how much data we are able to, you know, acquire from the people we're assisting will show the efficacy of whether or not we can assist them and how potent the information we share when we educate them on this particular ailment, right? So it's on a case-by-case basis, just so you guys know, okay? But let me go ahead and show you this second book, and then I'm going to show you these guides that I had that you guys can purchase for yourselves on Amazon. Again, a layman can look at this and say, oh, this is great, and try to apply it and may not get the results. And a lot of times that's common because they haven't worked with naturopathy for a long time, or dietitians or nutritionists. So you may get it, apply, it may not work, and you don't know why. And that's where we come in, right? Because we have experience with this. What you see here are templates, which means they have to be modified and customized for you in particular. And that's what we're here to provide, that type of assistance, all right? So here's the second book that is another great book that I recommend. And for the record, you guys can buy these books as well if you want, from Amazon or other places as well. I'll show you the second book and see if I can get my camera working so that way I can show you guys these two guides that you can order from Amazon yourselves, okay? So here's the second book here. Right, this one is Understanding Nutrition by Whitney and Rolfs, right, 15th edition. This goes into your dietary reference intakes. The dietary reference intake include two sets of nutrient intake goals for individuals: the recommended dietary allowance, your RDA, and your adequate intake. The RDA reflects the average daily amount of a nutrient. Let me zoom in so y'all can see it. It might be kind of small if you're on your phone. Of a nutrient considered adequate to meet the needs of most healthy people if there is insufficient evidence to determine an RDA and AI is set. In addition, the estimated energy requirement represents the average dietary energy intake considered adequate to maintain energy balance in healthy people. The DRI also included the tolerable uptake intake level that represents the estimated maximum daily amount of a nutrient that appears safe for most healthy people to consume on a regular basis. Sometimes you have people who are healthy and get sick, and they don't know why they're getting sick because they've not been diagnosed with anything. It's because of toxicity in regards to some of the nutrients that you're taking in. If you have too much vitamin A, vitamin E, this can cause toxicity and it can make you sick, right? So these things are also important to note, and you have to be able to look at these charts, be able to read and comprehend and how to apply these things. This is all extremely important. And again, when we do consultations, you sign up for our paid services, we do monthly check-ins, we go over this stuff with you so you know holistically what's going on and what tools you have at your disposal to take advantage of your health again, okay? All right, so this book is another great book that we recommend, and there's 3 other books I recommend in regards to health, and these are excellent books. This one also is 826 pages because it thoroughly goes through everything you need to know about nutrition. All right, nutrition, okay? All right, so let me see if I can get this camera working. Let me see if I can get this camera working. Hold on. Okay, so the first one is this book here. I mean, this pamphlet here. And these are laminated reference guides, okay? It unfolds like this, and it folds in. This one here is on nutrition. It's called A Quick Study Health on Nutrition, Superfoods and Supplements, the world's #1 quick reference guide, and that's true. You can order this from Amazon, okay? This one goes into or summarizes a lot of the things you'll see in those course books that I showed you, okay? It summarizes all those things for you. So it's easily, the information is easily consumable, all right? Let me take the autofocus off. That's kind of messing things up. All right, there we go. All right, so that's so you can see. All right. The second one, main one, is the one on vitamins and minerals. And there's another one on herbal therapy and other things as well. But here's the other one from Quick Study Health, world's #1 quick reference guide. This goes over the various vitamins and minerals, the natural sources of it, best taken with deficiency symptoms and toxicity symptoms. All right. A lot of times these are things that we suffer from and we think it's something else. We go to the doctor, they diagnose it something else. And it's simply just you consuming too much of these items. Okay. And there's tests that you can take at clinics or from your doctor to assess the levels of these items in your bloodstream. Okay. In your body. All right. So you can also do that yourself as a means of confirming that whatever we are suggesting to you is effective and it's working. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to open it up for any kind of questions, right? So there is a question and answer Q&A section there. So if you guys want to ask your questions real quick before we get off, you can. All right. We're almost approaching an hour-and-a-half mark. All right. So does anybody have any questions or concerns? Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. All right. I see we have one question. Okay. Job. You can unmute your mic. There you go.
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. One of my questions is how long is the program, the consultation program to become a consultant?
Yeah. So what we do is we do basic training and then give you some key tests to kind of assess to make sure you're making progress. Everybody is different, right? So sometimes we can do it as a group or one-on-one if a person needs that type of attention, but it just depends on the individual, right? So if you're somebody with zero knowledge, it can take maybe about 3 sessions, right? 3 hour-and-a-half sessions to get you to a point where you understand and you're making progress. If some people are already familiar with a lot of this, then the training will be much faster. They may only need 1 session, right, to come on board. So we do it on a per person basis to try and get them on board so they can understand enough about the basics of health to do an assessment and to do a consultation. And we also give them these quick guides in these books. So if a person mentions a particular type of ailment, you can go right to a quick reference and pull that information up. And based on the standard or basic training you get on proper nutrition, you're able to give a very efficient session with whoever that end user is or that client.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. So it depends on, like, some people may not have no medical experience, but they've been researching about health for a long time. So they know some of these things, right? We just show you how to apply it under the auspices of this program, right? Because we're trying to have a particular standard of quality and best practices. And we want to make sure it's used universally. But we want to make sure that everybody has a similar amount of understanding. So that way, whoever comes to us and whoever is delegated, whether it's a request that comes strictly through us or a request based on affiliate, bringing somebody in, we can make sure that anybody we send them to can give them the same amount of quality across the board. So it just depends on the individual. Some people may need more training than others. It varies.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So, yeah. All right,
cool.
So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and that's free of charge to the person that's becoming the consultant, right?
Correct. So the affiliate doesn't really, I mean, the affiliate, it'd be good for the affiliate also to get, we like to give them like an introductory training.
Yeah, I was going to ask that as well. The affiliate,
because let's say, and here's a great example. And this is what I do with people all the time. I tell people, a lot of people now do rideshare, right? And I say, people who do rideshare, I say, man, you don't understand, rideshare, that's an office, right? If a person chooses to have a conversation with the driver, you have an opportunity to make money. Okay. You have an opportunity to help somebody. Sometimes I had a friend of mine doing rideshare and he was like a psychiatrist, like a layman psychiatrist. Like, people would share all types of issues and problems with him and everything like that. Wow. But I told them, I said, look, if you're doing rideshare, it's one of as many things. You're in a car with somebody for anywhere from 5 minutes to maybe an hour, driving them somewhere, right? If you're just an affiliate, even if you're a consultant, you could probably do things on a fly real quick, right? But if you're an affiliate, here's an opportunity to have your marketing material with your unique code. You can start a conversation. The person may share some information with you. Boom, you can assess it real briefly and say, hey, look, you know what? There's a program that I'm a part of that can help you with this. check it out, and you can engage conversation with them, right? Maybe not to the level of a consultant, but you'll know enough so that way you can inspire the person to want to follow through and say, wow, that's great. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and follow through, because the more they follow through, the better it is for you to earn revenue from. You know what I'm saying? So it just, like I said, it just varies. Affiliates, we like to give them a brief crash course, but for consultants, it's constant training, right?
Right.
Over time to kind of refine them. So that way they get to a point where they're really on point, where they're extremely sharp and they can just do it, right? But again, it depends on the individual.
Okay. And one last question, like, so the copy that you provide for your affiliate, it does that, is it, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, like, is it laid out in such a way that kind of guides, the person from the online experience to kind of, get some answers, some like basic answers that they might be looking for?
Yeah, so there's references that we do provide, so that way you have it. So if there's inquiries, you can address it. When we do the training, I have a customized PDF that I put together to kind of give you some references and some talking points and so forth like that. So when you get out there, you're not just freestyling. Everybody that may not be good with freestyling, right?
Right.
But people who are not good, it's a sheet that gives you good reference points. So that way you have good talking points. You know how to engage conversation, how to drive the conversation. And if you're an affiliate, so that way they can follow through. And if you're a consultant, so you can lead them into signing up for the consultation, right? So we do try to provide marketing material, reference guides, so that way you're equipped, right? Until you get to a point where a lot of people memorize this stuff and you can just do it on the fly.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate that.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much for the question. I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and just drop you to the back again and see if there's other questions or concerns. Okay.
I appreciate you, bro.
Anytime. All right. So let's see. Is there anybody else that has questions? Somebody said, Shalom, how do you get the code? Okay. That's Sister Kalila. So if you're interested in the affiliate program, what we want to do is a one-on-one assessment. So you can call the number that's on the flyer. I'll bring it up on the screen again. You can call them. It's on the flyer. And for you, Sister Kalila, for the P.O. box, we'll give you that information soon, because I know you want to send us something. But also, if you want to get a code, what you can do is call the 678-430-3832 number, and you'll speak to our customer care team. Let them know you're interested in a one-on-one assessment, so you can get the reference guides that you need, as well as your unique identifying code. And then from there, we can bring you on board, right? So we have your information in our database, which we need to collect some data from you. And then from there, we provide you with that code, which will attach to your data in our database. And then that code would be added to any kind of material that we give you to hand out. Because anytime you give material, I always tell the people, look, we can't help you with this service unless you tell them this code. Right. So we're not helping nobody unless there's a code attached to it, because that code lets us know that person, who that person is that is tied to, to get credit for who brought that individual in, as well as making sure they get paid out. And so we know the difference between affiliates and consultants. OK, because that's important for us to do the payout. All right. So just so you know, there's still some things behind the scenes that we're restructuring with this program, because this is the first time that we're actually doing it public like this. So there are some things that we're still working on in the background to make things more efficient, to provide more resources, better training. So it'll take some time for us to get things to a point where it's mature. However, we have it to a point where you have enough for the program to get off and running and for you to start work immediately, right? But we're still, just bear with us, because we're still restructuring things in the background, and your patience and persistence is to help you get through and become successful with this. And remember, the end game is to create that HMO to provide insurance for alternative healthcare. All right. Dante DeSal says, do you know when the consultant training starts? Well, we'll do the one-on-one, and we may have another group one just as an introductory training, but we like to do one-on-one so we can see where everybody is at who is interested, and they can get that personal touch. So also, Dante, you can call the number 678-430-3832. And through that, we can schedule an appointment, so that way I can speak with you one-on-one, kind of assess where you're at, and then be able to either schedule you for a group training or individual training, depending upon your already experience or knowledge in regards to the subject matter. Okay. My brother Eric. Hey, Eric, I haven't spoke to you in a while. I know, Eric, man, that brother has been patient. I appreciate it. Again, we've been doing restructuring, Eric. He said he's interested in an affiliate program right now for this and our other service, which is our Jubilee Manumission service, which I'm going to do a separate session for that. But yes, do the same thing, Eric. Call us at 678-430-3832. Let's schedule you an appointment and get you up and running, okay? D.Y. McKinsey says, for the consultant training, is there a code for that as well? I missed that portion. So to be a consultant, yes, you are giving a code as well, because that is how we track the people you bring in and how we track the payouts, right? So affiliates and consultants would get codes. However, the consultant provides the code internally because they're the front facing. They're the one that actually works with the client, but the client data is attached to their unique code in our database, right? So we can track progress, check-ins, and payouts, all right? The affiliate is different. They don't do as much consultations or assessments. Their job is to refer it to a consultant to follow up, but they also get a code that also tracks with their name, so that way their efforts can get paid out to them, okay? So yes, there is, for the consultant training, we'll do one-on-one assessments, and then from there we'll do group trainings, and we give you assessment tests to make sure that you are at a point of literacy in the information before we can say, okay, you can now do consultant work. So it may take some time depending upon where you're at, and it may take some effort, but if you persist through it, it's a great way for you to make supplemental income. It's a great way for you to even turn it full-time if you want it. And it's a great way for you to help the community, because bad health practices is extremely high in the Black community. And one of the main goals of KHM is to alleviate these societal ills so that people could be more receptive to the other things we share and we teach to better galvanize the community as a whole and advance us forward, okay? All right, so, all right, no problem, D.Y. McKenzie, no problem, all right? So also, one last thing I want to tell everybody that's on here, if you don't already have the app, that is extremely important, right? Because we can only track your information through the app. You can email us all you want, and that's fine. However, it's a manual process if you email us, as opposed to it's an automatic process if you get the app. So what you want to do is go to the Apple App Store, or go to your Google Play Store. You're going to do a search for an app that's called My One Church app. My space one, O-N-E space church space app. You're going to plug that into your Apple App Store, Google Play Store. And then from there, you're going to download and install the app. Once you launch the app, you're going to see a field that says zip code, all right? Click in there and type 30064, right? And if you need this information, again, everybody was on here can email us for a copy of this video, or you can call our 678 number, and you can get those details as well from the customer care team, okay? They can tell you how to access the app, okay? And then once you plug that in, you're going to see the Kingdom Harvest Ministries entry show up. You're going to click onto that. It'll bring you into our portion of the app. And then from there, you're going to see a button that says groups. Click on that. And then if you're interested in getting our services, there's a services group for Naturopath To Eden services. If you're interested in the affiliate, there's a Naturopath To Eden affiliates group. And if you're interested in our consultants, there's a Naturopath To Eden consultants. Click on one of those groups, hit the blue add button, plug in your information. And then once we're able to get you into the database, now we can assign a unique code to you. And then now when we do the assessment, when you call in, and the consultation for screening to set you up as an affiliate or as a consultant, we already have that code in there, and we have everything else we need from you that we plugged into that database that'll follow you as you do your work. We'll make sure you get credit for every effort you put out. And again, like I said, in the midst of COVID that was going on, a lot of people are economically impacted, and we wanted to provide this as an opportunity for people to make money on the side, doing something they enjoy doing, which is helping the community at large, okay? All right, so is there any other questions? We got about 4 minutes left. Any other questions, concerns anybody has? Let me know. Anybody else? Let me know. Okay, I guess we covered everything so far then. All right. So with that being said, yes, if you look in the group chat, you'll see by Gail, she posted the instructions on how to get the app. Ace 56, you said, I guess the brother can't see the chat. Did you ask a question? Let me see. You said, how do we move forward from here? And can we do both? Be an affiliate until we are ready to fly as a consultant? Yes, you can do that. Market the program as an affiliate while you are a consultant, or does the affiliate program come automatically with the consultant status? You can do both if you want. However, if you're a consultant, there's no need to be an affiliate, right? Because as a consultant, your objective as a consultant is to actually do the assessments and also do the consultations, and that unique identifying code will be plugged in with your data in the database, and as well as the clients that you bring in. So pretty much that's for people who really want to do it part-time or full-time. Affiliates are just people that want to make passive income just by sharing information. You can share it on social media. You can share it if you're doing a ride share. You can share it at your church or congregation. You can share it at school. You're just passively sharing information, giving a little tidbits about what it is, and interest people to come and investigate further by getting an appointment with one of our consultants. Okay. So yes, you can start off at the consultant, and then you can graduate to, start off as an affiliate and graduate to a consultant if you want. Yes, you can definitely do that. All right. And Ace, if you have any other information in regards to that, again, you can call us. Can you confirm the telephone number? All right, Shamira, I'll put it up. I'll put it in the chat for you. And I'll bring up the flyer again. Hopefully you guys can see the flyer that I bring up. Let me bring the flyer up again. All right, here's the flyer. The number is at the very bottom. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Number 678-430-3832. Again, if you would like a copy of this, email us at naturopathtoeden@gmail.com, and we can send you a copy of this video. All right, so anything that was missed, you can go back and capture it for yourself. Okay, and again, this is for your eyes only. Okay, this is not a public video. This is only for people that was on this call who are interested in this program, and anybody who in the future who's interested, we may also share this video with them as well. Okay, just as an introduction. But this is not a public video. It's only for the people who are interested, because we only want people who are serious about this. Okay, and again, like I said, there's no liability. We give you a sign-up bonus, and you get 25 to 50% commission. That's almost unheard of. All right. No liability to you. You know what I'm saying? And then also, some of y'all may be part of the Patreon. Some of y'all may be pending to be members of the organization. And what I tell people a lot is sometimes people may need supplemental income to take care of things in their home or whatever. But some people want to be part of KHM. They may not have the money, because there's a $50 membership fee that we charge monthly for people who want to be part of the organization. And they may not be able to squeeze that out. So we say, hey, look, we have just Naturopath To Eden program. You know, if you go and service one person and get them into the paid services, you have enough to pay your monthly membership due and use it for any other extra funds that you may need for something you need around the house. So that's like you go into a church and the church says, okay, we need tithes and offerings, but they provide you a program so that the tithes and offerings that you typically pay, you're able to make that through a program, so it doesn't really even come out your paycheck. So there's no liability for working with this program. There's no liability. We just only want to provide incentives for people to sign on. And again, like I said, the onboarding process may take a little bit longer now because we are restructuring. So we want to make sure we revise the documents we provide you, the guides, the step-by-step process of the training. This is still a work in progress from what we did previously, because we're going to start doing it on an individual and group level. So it may take a little bit of time, but you should be up and running before the year ends. So we're talking about maybe in another month or so, you should be up and running, okay, with this. So it's going to take some time for us to assess you, give you the NDAs to sign and all that other stuff, you know, before we actually get you out there, because we want to make sure you're robust and fortified enough that once we send you out, you're the best representation of not only this program, but for the ministry at large, okay? All right, so I think that's everything. There's no more questions. That's great. So thank you, everybody, for participating in this Zoom session. I hope you guys enjoyed the information you was provided. Like I said, you can reach us at 678-430-3832 or email us at naturopathtoeden@gmail.com. But please download the My One Church app. Okay, the My One Church app on your Apple App Store or Google Play Store. We need to lock you. If you've already done it, great. If not, we need to lock you in there. You have to sign up for the group. Okay, so from the group, when you sign up for the Naturopath To Eden, either the affiliates or the consultants group, from there, we have you in the database. We can attach all files, documentation, everything to your entry in our database. And then we can, it'd be easier for us to onboard you so you can get up and running, okay? All right, so again, the hours are 9 to 6 when you call that number. So right now it's after hours. So please put it on your to-do list to call us tomorrow from 9 to 6 so we can capture everybody that was on here. If we haven't already gotten your data, we'll schedule an appointment so you can have your one-on-one session. And from there, we'll let you know one-on-one how we can move forward, getting you on board, what the process looks like, and making sure you have all the tools necessary to get busy. All right, it's easier for the affiliate program to get on board than a consultant. Consultant will take a little bit of time, but everybody can, like, probably the next day can join the affiliate program, okay, and sign up. But the consultant program are people who are more committed. It takes more training because, again, we want to make sure you're more robust when you go out there to provide the same quality that the next person who's also a consultant can provide, and that we can have that same standard of quality across the board. So that may take a little bit more time. So even if everybody just wants to join in for affiliate, before going to the consultant, we can do that as well. And again, we still did give you a quick crash course on the sources that you may need and some tidbits of talking points when you engage people or the public in regards to these services. All right, guys. So thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully we can get everybody on board soon. We appreciate you for taking valuable time out for this. We hope that we can bless everybody with this information. All right. Ace, yes, you're absolutely right, Ace. And that's what we do. So any requests that we come in generally outside the scope of what consultants can do, we are able to pull from that and assign it to a consultant as well. So we do that, right? So we make sure that we are leveraging the requests that come in outside of our consultants and affiliates and making sure that everybody has an equal amount of opportunity to take advantage of this program. So you are absolutely correct, my brother. And thank you for that insight. You are absolutely correct. Okay. All right, my family, thank you guys for being here with me. Look forward to speaking to everybody on here soon. Like I said, you have the contact information. If you want a copy of this video, email us, naturopathtoeden@gmail.com. We'll send it to you. And call the hotline from 9 to 6 so we can schedule an appointment with you so that way we can onboard you and get you up and running, okay? So much love to everybody. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace and shalom.